Chapter 9. Under the Moon. Jack froze. "It's him," Annie whispered. The knight held out his gloved hand. "Come on, Jack," Annie said. "Where are you going?" said Jack. "He wants to help us," said Annie. "How do you know?" "I can just tell," said Annie. Annie stepped toward the horse. The knight dismounted. The knight picked up Annie and put her on the back of his horse. "Come on, Jack," she called. Jack moved slowly toward the knight. It was like a dream. The knight picked him up too, and he placed Jack on the horse behind Annie. The knight got behind them. He slapped the reins. The black horse cantered beside the moonlit water of the moat. Jack rocked back and forth in the saddle. The air blew through his hair, and he felt brave and very powerful. He felt as if he could ride forever on this horse, with this mysterious knight, over the ocean, over the world, over the moon. A hawk shrieked in the darkness. "There's the tree house," said Annie. She pointed towards the grove of the trees. The knight steered his horse toward the trees. "See? There it is," Annie pointed at the ladder. The knight brought his horse to a stop. He dismounted and helped Annie down. "Thank you, sir," she said, and she bowed. Then Jack said, "Thank you," and he also bowed. The knight got back on his horse. He raised his gloved hand, and he slapped the reins and rode off through the mist. Annie started up the tall ladder, and Jack followed. They climbed into the dark treehouse and looked out the window. The knight was riding toward the outer wall, and they saw him go through the outer gate. The clouds started to cover the moon again. And for a brief moment, Jack thought he saw the knight's armor gleaming on the top of the hill beyond the castle. The clouds covered the moon completely. A black mist swallowed the land. "He's gone," whispered Annie. Jack shivered in his wet clothes, and he kept staring into the blackness. "I'm cold," said Annie. "Where's the Pennsylvania book?" Jack heard Annie fumbling in the darkness, and he kept looking out the window. "I think this is it," said Annie. "I feel a silk bookmark." Jack was only half listening, and he was hoping to see the knight's armor gleaming again in the distance. "Okay, I'm going to use this one," she said, "because I think this is the right one. Here goes. Okay, I'm pointing. I'm going to wish. I wish to go to Frog Creek." Jack heard the wind blow again, softly at first. "I hope I pointed to the right picture in the right book," said Annie. "What?" Jack looked at her. "Right picture, right book!" The treehouse began to rock. The wind got louder and louder. "I hope it wasn't the dinosaur book," said Annie. "Stop!" Jack shouted at the treehouse. Too late. The treehouse started to spin. It was spinning and spinning and spinning, and the wind was screaming. Then suddenly, there was silence. Absolute silence.